فيش حق عودة لليهود. حق العودة الوحيد the only right of return is for the Palestinians. You have, there is no sense and no meaning of right of return to the Jews. ولا شو right of return عشان before 2,000 and 3,000 years you were here. So the minute we said so, وانتبهوا, it was not 1948, it was 50 years. It took us 50 years to say so. إحنا هون. The PLO said this in the 50s and 60s and withdraw in the 80s. يعني منظمة التحرير حكت هيك بالخمسينات والستينات وبالسبعين بالثمانينات وقت استقلال إعلان الاستقلال وهذا تراجعت. إحنا بالعكس. We are in the PLO started to talk about one democratic state in the 50s and in the 60s, and it withdrew from this discourse since the 80s. We took the opposite direction. We didn't talk about this. We talked about to survive, to keep Arabic language, to of course, and to struggle for our rights. But this clear sense of anti-Zionism, anti-Jewish state, to have a democratic state, it started just in 1995. Since then, Israel developed a new set of laws to criminalize the struggle. It is not enough to confiscate land. It is not enough to have exclusive villages and cities for the Jews. إحنا هون الناصري نتسارة عليت is 4 times bigger than Nazareth. Also, it is 50,000 and Nazareth is 90,000 citizens. But it confiscated Natsaret Alit. They established Natsaret Alit in the mid of the 70s in order to prevent the development, the natural development of Nasre والقرى and the villages around Nazareth, Ain Mahel, Alut, Reni, Kufur Kanna. And we are here in ghettos. يعني انت if you entered Akka, you entered الناصر أكبر بلد, بس we live in a ghetto. Actually, Bantustanat in the West Bank, and to establish more and more settlements, and to surround all the villages, started here. It didn't settlements. The idea of settlements didn't start in the West Bank 1967. The idea of settlements, ويحاصروا البلدات العربية, started here. And now we don't have a piece of land in order to live. And they push us to have this يعني طوابع إيش اللي it doesn't fit our way and our style of life. So during the last 15 years, Israel has paid attention that there is a challenge here. And for the first time, after 2003, Israel defined us as a strategic threat. Not us as a Palestinian, but those who have alternative political vision challenging the definition of Israel as a Jewish and democratic state. Israel officially described the vision of my party as a strategic threat. And it has created a series of laws in order to criminalize our struggle. يعني in the West Bank, if you are Hamas, if you are part of the, if you are throwing stones, if you are, a security threat. Here, you are a strategic threat. If you have another, another vision challenging Israel. So see how this point is so crucial for Israel, the legitimacy. So it doesn't matter how much you are a strong state. You still need legitimacy. And this is, we should as Palestinians understand. It's not just a matter of military power. You need legitimacy. This is why Israel is trying to change the definition of anti-Semitism, because she wants to oppress criticism against Palestinians. The same she is doing here. She wants to redefine the identity of the state from Jewish and democratic, because what we do, we took democracy and we attacked the Jewish side. We took the democratic side of the definition. This is what we did. We took the democratic definition, side of this definition, and we attacked by it the Jewish side of the definition as racist side. Israel realized this and say, okay, I'm not a Jewish and democratic anymore. I'm just Jewish, and you must recognize it. And I want my legitimacy as a pure Jewish state. And this is what we should attack, because this is a new silah, a new weapon. It is a new tool to attack the legitimacy of this racism and the legitimacy of this definition. And what Israel did, it explicitly passed a new law in July 2016 to exclude members of the Knesset. They tried to disqualify us by court. They couldn't. I think after this law, they may exclude us, disqualify us, because this law really changed the rules of the game. We didn't test it yet. Yeah? Maybe the next election, when anyone asks to disqualify us, they will look at this law, and this law will give them a legal basis to disqualify us. But before this law, they had a special law to expel not parties, to expel individuals. The name of the law, expulsion of MKs. So we, the Palestinian MKs, we are 13 Palestinian MKs out of 120. There are another 4 or 5 members of Zionist parties. We, the joint list, the pure Arab-Palestinian list in the Knesset, has been elected by 500,000 Palestinians. Now, 90 Knesset members can disqualify us, can expel us permanently, can vote.
You passed that law already?
Yeah, July 2016. 2 years now. يعني احنا يعني فيش انتخاب. It has no meaning for election. Elections has no meaning. احنا انتخبونا 500,000، بيروحوا بكره بيقولوا حنين اي شيء، يصوتوا 90 Knesset members can vote against me continuing to work as a Knesset member. خلاص. So 90 has more power than 500,000 who voted me. So even the election system is fake. Okay, I will stop here because I took 35 minutes, not 30. And we have still another 30 maximum.
Thank you. That was very informative.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question. I'm wondering with the National Democratic Assembly, I know you're saying the mission of this organization is to remove Israel as a Jewish state and to make it a democratic state. Are you looking to include the Palestinian West Bank as well as part of that?
Okay, good question. We were established in 1995, not today. In 1995, we said no. We said pure Palestinian state. because occupation is violation of law. It's illegal. So we need to stop occupation, and we need sovereignty as Palestinian state. But regarding 48, we need a state for the citizens. So we were talking about 2 states. But already then, there was a paragraph that this solution, which is based upon justice and equal rights and right of return and recognizing the غبن تاريخي, the historical injustice which has been done to the Palestinians, can be basis for other political solution, but based upon the same principles. This means you can keep these values of equality and justice, and you can promote, you can move from 2 states to other states, 2 states to 1 state, as long as you don't violate the values of justice, equality, right of return, human rights. Yeah? So it was inside this vision, the vision of 1 state will not contradict with the vision of 1 state in 48 and a Palestinian state in 67. It will not contradict, because the values is the thing which direct the vision were the values of justice, the values of inequality. Whether 2 states or 1 state, this will not affect the basics of the vision. But today, we started to realize that maybe we should talk about 1 people, 1 state. Yeah? Because again, this is not to shift from one paradigm to another paradigm. You will stay in the same paradigm, even if when you will talk about 1 state. You will say, because the paradigm is a paradigm, as I said, of justice and of equality. Yeah? And of, for both. But again, we must pay attention about the huge historical, as I said, historical compromise, to also recognize the other as a national group. So now we are willing to rediscuss this idea of 2 states and to talk about 1 state. But personally, I don't like this question of 1 state or 2 states, because it's so theoretical. We must start from the daily suffering of the people, to concentrate upon ending the siege, ending the occupation, make Israel accountable to its crimes. Don't engage yourself in this, I would say, not important debate about 1 or 2 states. The important is to talk about the daily violation of the Israelis. Snipers in Gaza, 2 million without water, without electricity. They have destroyed the society in Gaza. Talk more about the violations, because this is how we can gain the support of the international community. Other questions?
So I don't know, okay, so based on the progression of the state of Israel and where they are now, do you feel like there is hope? Because it seems like they're just getting stronger and stronger, and they're getting more and more support. And we're being betrayed by Arabs. Palestinians are also being betrayed by the Arab world. They're getting support from, the Gulf. So where do you see, it just feels, it can be very overwhelming at times, how can we go forward, and what can we do, and what's a realistic way to start? Yes, we can gain support from, talking about it, and I know we mentioned lobbying, but where else can we go, and do you feel hopeful, realistically?
Okay. Very important question. Without being optimistic, very much optimistic, I can say that it is the right time where the Palestinians can reconsider their liberation movement, their liberation project. This is the optimal time where we can be unified and talk about one Palestinian nation, and the whole world will understand. Because the minute Israel is talking about Zionism and the right of the Jewish all over Palestine, this is also the right moment. You will talk about you as one nation and about your connection to your homeland. Israel is reopened. It is a golden moment. Israel now reopened the historical file. It was closed in Oslo. It was closed. Israel is a democratic state. No one talked about right of return, and we will talk about a country state in the West Bank. Now Israel is saying to the whole world, this is bullshit. I want all the land, and I am the master here, and the Palestinians has nothing. This is the right moment that the whole world will understand the Israeli racism and the Israeli colonialism. Israel is make it for us an easy mission. It is now more easy for me to go to anyone to say to him, look, this is the bill. How can you describe Israel? He cannot describe Israel when he sees the bill as a democracy. He cannot. He will have just one option to say it's colonialism, it's apartheid, it's disgusting. What is this? With a little minimum of intellectual integrity, you just need intellectual integrity from the people, and anyone, the Europeans, they couldn't not criticize the laws. They never criticized laws. They always consider laws as internal Israeli issue. Yeah, we don't interfere. They say we don't interfere. This is a law. Suddenly they couldn't. They say we cannot accept this. So the minute those, even not those who traditionally support the Palestinians, those who are neutral or play it as a neutral, they would say, oh my God, is this Israel? And you will say to the Palestinians, to them, we were for the last week, the Palestinians side Israel, the Palestinians here, we were for 20 years trying to explain to you that Israel is a colonialism, Israel. Now it is written in one paper. Yeah, it's very short law. In one paper. It is for you. The minute you will say, okay, Israel has deleted the green line, I will delete it. I will also delete it. No Oslo, nothing. No Palestinians, I will delete it. And we must, again, sit together as Palestinians, talk about one Palestinian people above our homeland, and talking about our right to liberation and to sovereignty, and to define also the place of the other. How we can accept the other. Because you cannot just keep silent about the other. Either you will say frankly, go back, or if you will not say go back, you will say your conditions for him in order to stay. To decolonize yourself, then you can stay. If you don't want, then go back. So this is a golden opportunity when we say, okay, it is not an issue of country, state. It is not an issue of rights inside 48. It is not an issue of state outside 48. It is the issue of liberation to the whole Palestinian movement. So this is our first strong paper. Yeah?
Evidence, yeah.
Yeah. Our second is the issue of legitimacy. and it is, I also mentioned it in the first, Israel is in a crisis of legitimacy. Israel is in a crisis, must be in a crisis of legitimacy. And it gives us, again, good opportunity to even, and you know what? Even to ask the international community to redefine Zionism as a racist movement. You already defined Zionism as a racist movement in the UN in 1974, and immediately you rechange it. So, no, this is a proof that Zionism is a racist movement. This is a proof that you were not wrong in the UN when you define Zionism as a racist movement. And another thing, to pull the recognition of Israel. Because the international community recognizes Israel not on the basics of this law. If Israel has given this law to the UN in 1948, the UN would not accept it, could not accept it. The UN accepted Israel in 1940 and based upon Israel's obligation toward democracy. And it's so important to understand that Israel has been accepted in the international community based upon international rights.